And again, we're going to pressure Alisson. He's given it straight to Ismail Assar. What a save! Oh my God. The last time we faced a top Premier League club, we were embarrassed at Old Trafford. We lost 4-0 to Manchester United. We should have probably what will be an even tougher test today as we host Liverpool at Redmont Arena. Before we get into that, though, we do have a game to quick sim, and that is against Brentford at the G-Tech, I want to say, Community Stadium, something like that. This is the team that Brentford are going to run out with. Paris Magoma lining up at CDM for Brentford, a player that we had on loan. Keane Lewis-Potter, also a player that we had on loan, playing left wing for Brentford today. This is how we're going to line up, a slightly rotated 11 with Dane Scarlett coming in up front and Matthew Garbett coming into the midfield. But other than that, pretty strong in terms of our 11 there. We lose 3-2, unfortunately. Dane Scarlett getting one back late. Keane Lewis-Potter did punish us, 2 goals in the second half for him. And Ismail Assar got on the score sheet in the first half. So a bad start to the episode. Brentford probably another one of those teams that we're going to be competing with for a place in the Premiership next season. So not ideal to drop points to them. We did have Burke Reesa back for this game. He played in centre midfield as well. So centre midfield, central defence rather. So good to have him back from injury. Arthur Armstrong played decently well, though, in the time that he spent in that back 5 for us. So looks like a promising young player. We've got a bunch of scout reports to get to here. Just some more right backs and central midfielders, basically, that I've got my eye on. Josh Key's place in the side, maybe threatened, I would say, by the potential of a right back that we could potentially bring in. Fabrice Sacco is the first one I've even been intrigued to look at here. He's got that relentless play style and is a 76 overall already at 20 years old. Not seeing too much other than that, though. We brought in Kieran Trippier this year, but he's obviously close to retirement at this stage and not an ideal long-term option. Josh Key could potentially be our right back of the future still. However, I'm not convinced by him. He's not played particularly well since we've come up to the Premiership. So, big game against Liverpool coming up next. So, I do want to put Jamie Shackleton in midfield alongside Caceres Jr. However, I will move Matthew Garbett to the bench ahead of Alex Lowry, who is slightly fatigued. Samson Tavide is going to stay on the bench. He's not happy with the lack of playtime that he's getting at the moment. And the rest of our team can stay the same. I'm tempted to put Kieran Trippier in for Josh Key, just because of what I said in the before the Manchester United game, really. I think potentially if we're going to get anything from the game, it could be from set pieces. It didn't really work out for us that way last time. But I'm going to try the same approach here against Liverpool. I am also just going to make sure I did finally change our defensive game plan away from counter-attack. And that drop back instruction that is just so destructive. Jamie Shackleton, you are coming in. So we're going for double defensive midfielders today in Caceres Jr. and Jamie Shackleton. No place for a playmaker like Alex Lowry or Matthew Garbett. We have seen, though, in the last few episodes, Liverpool really struggling this season in the Premier League. I did take a quick look at their squad, and it's still pretty good. It's maybe not as good as, it is in real life at the moment. We are 5 seasons deep into this save now, and Liverpool have deteriorated somewhat. But as we'll see in their pre-match report in just a second, they've still got a very strong squad, but they are languishing in the relegation places right now. So they're going to have Richarlison on the left, Rafinha on the right. Rafinha, a player I really, really like in real life. Gakpo, Tielemans, Gravenberch, and then Tyler Morton is not a bad midfield at all. It looks to be along their back line where they're struggling. Though they do have Van der Berg And they do have Jules Koundé at the very least. So 2 good players there. They do still have Trent, but he's either on the bench or not playing in this game for whatever reason. So potentially we're catching Liverpool at a good time. I don't anticipate this being anything close to an easy game. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I think Liverpool are going to press us high. I think they're going to force us into mistakes. And I think we're going to have to be Jurgen Klopp still at Liverpool. Obviously, he's announced in real life that he will be leaving at the end of the season, but didn't happen that way in this particular save. But yeah, I think we're going to have to be our absolute best today if we're going to get any kind of result here. I would obviously be more than happy with a draw. So let's see what we can do. See if we can get that point. I do definitely want to try and focus on set pieces today. I think if we can get as many corners and free kicks as possible and leave it to Kieran Trippier to put the ball into the box. As Ismail Assar tries to come away on this left-hand side early. We're going to have to rely on our wide players to create today because we've got Jamie Shackleton, Christian Caceres as our 2 central midfielders. We're not going to be able to rely on too much creativity coming through the centre of the park today. Liverpool, the lowest scoring team in the league as well, joint with Burnley. That is obviously incredibly surprising to see. And here come Liverpool pressing us early. We had Kieran Trippier there. He needs to just push out towards that right back position. He came far too central there. And that really caused an issue for us. Well worked to Alex Petit on the right-hand side, and he does find Kieran Trippier. And if Josh Sargent can get in the box, Kieran Trippier is the man to find him. He's got in the box. Kieran Trippier has found him. Goalkeeper makes a save initially. Barley Mumba puts it back into Josh Sargent, who scores! 1-0 Redmont Rangers. Did not anticipate the game starting in that way. Barley Mumba puts a great ball in. Josh Sargent rather at the near post. Alisson is caught in no man's land, really. Doesn't stand his line to make the save, but doesn't quite commit to coming for it. And just gets caught in between the two, really. It was a really good attack down the right-hand side initially for Kieran Trippier's initial cross, which was well saved by Alisson. And it's 1-0 Redmont Rangers 6 minutes into the game. So, not the start I was expecting, but I will take it for sure. The game is far, far from won. As I said, I think Liverpool are going to present a tough test for us. It hasn't proven that way during these opening 10 minutes, but I mean, a game is 90 minutes long, and they tend to be closer to 100 minutes, really, with all of the extra time that we get these days. So we're maybe 10% of the way through the game. Still a long way to go. Oh, and we're pressing Alisson high there. He couldn't get rid of the ball. Josh Sargent almost nicked it away. Well won from Barley Mumba. I thought Caceres was getting to that, but he didn't in the end. What a challenge from Jesse Cartwright. And Barley Mumba's picked up a knock, unfortunately. Bobek tries to find Alex Petit, who's in acres of space on this right-hand side. He's got a bit of pace about him, but so has Van der Berg. And he gets back to make the challenge. Liverpool are pressing very high. I think those areas are going to be open today. I think Alex Petit, Ismail Assar, I think they're going to be in space to receive the ball if Alexander Bobek can find them. Great challenge from Alex Petit and Josh Key. I keep saying Josh Key. He's not even on the field. Josh Sargent comes away with it. Not too much on ahead of him, though. And he just holds the ball up. Kieran Trippier has taken up some awful positions already. His positioning has been terrible. I can't remember if I have him on inverted, to be fair, which might be the reason why. Probably going to have a quick look at that when the ball goes out of play. And I think that is going to be the reason, and I need to take him off that because the positioning's been awful. So pretty sure that's my fault rather than Kieran Trippier's. I'm really hoping when the ball goes out of play we don't have to take Bali Mumba off as well, because he has picked up a knock and it looks like it is lingering at the moment. Really hoping that he can run that off. We don't have too much of an option at left back if Bali Mumba is out. Our option is Kieran Trippier, and we bring Josh Key onto the right hand side, so it would be less than ideal to get an injury at that particular position. Bali Mumba, a fairly influential player for us as well, so Alex Petit almost gets there. Ceres Jr. ushers the play out wide. Norris in a position to cross. Richarlison sniffing around. And I think it's going to be our free kick here, and it is. Let's have a quick look at the instruction that we've got Kieran Trippier on. No, he's just on mixed attack, so he really shouldn't be picking up those kinds of positions. I think we did see there... Also, Bali Mumba seems to be fine, so... Panic over. We don't need to make any changes at the moment. Lots of space for Ismail Assar. Bali Mumba can't quite find him. There is a lot of space in those wide positions early, though. We said earlier, that's going to be the area that we have to try and exploit with such a defensive midfield pairing. And it looks like Liverpool are going to invite us to try and exploit there as well. Burke Rees is beaten. Good save from Alexander Bobek at the near post. We forced the Liverpool player into that particular attempt, to be honest. What a challenge that is. Ismail Assar not letting it go, though, and actually manages to keep possession. 2 players over. Kieran Trippier. Alex Petit takes it down. Lifts it over to Kieran Trippier. He's got Jamie Shackleton inside him, and he does manage to lift it over to Shackleton. Kieran Trippier puts it in. What a ball. Ismail Assar had to make it 2-0, but he didn't. Put the header wide. If that was Josh Sargent, that would have been buried. But it was Ismail Assar, and it must have been inches past the post there. So close to making it 2-0. Again, really well worked down that right-hand side. Lots of lofted balls over the Liverpool defenders on that particular attack. And the wide areas continue to be the areas where we are finding success. Defending well as well. Liverpool haven't had too much going forward at the moment. Really well worked there between Petit and Shackleton to find Caceres Jr. And we just work it across the back line. Kieran Trippier into Jamie Shackleton. Oh, Alex Petit was in a good position there, but the Liverpool defender got a foot in. Jamie Shackleton tackled before he could put the cross in. Just trying to force the Liverpool player out towards the sideline. And again, we're going to pressure Alisson. He's given it straight to Ismail Assar. What a save! Oh my God. That was actually Caceres Jr., not Ismail Assar. And it was Alisson that had invited the pressure initially and made a save from point-blank range against Ismail Assar. We really should be 2-0 up now. Cleared by the Liverpool defence. I don't understand how we haven't doubled our lead here. We've played a really, really good game so far. We've been very good defensively, and we've hit Liverpool on the counter-attack numerous times. And we've created good chances for ourselves. And Liverpool just trying to create a good chance for themselves. Alexander Bobek makes another good save. It's near post. Not sure how much he knew about that one. He's just kind of smashed at him from about 6 yards out. But he reacts well with his right hand. And parries it away for a Liverpool corner. We said set pieces could be influential today. We want them to be influential for us rather than for Liverpool. We've defended this one well, though. And Bobek just clears away towards Ismail Assar on that left-hand side. About 10 minutes to go until half-time. Still a 1-goal lead for Redmont Rangers at this point. I'm tempted to drop into our defensive game plan and just try and ride these last 10 minutes out. But at the same time, we're playing very well as it is. And I don't want to change things unless we have to. If what we're doing right now is working, and it is, then it makes sense to me to carry on the way that we're playing. If Liverpool change their approach, then potentially we need to adjust to their adjustment. Unlucky Caceres Jr. almost stole that away. Same again. Cody Gakpo driving now. Finally, Christian Caceres manages to steal it away from the Liverpool player. Bali Mumba beats his man. Oh, and Ismail Assar was up ahead of him there, but Bali Mumba couldn't find him and has given the ball to Liverpool. Needed to release that up the line, really, and instead turned back in towards trouble and then couldn't find a Redmont Rangers shirt. Work down the Liverpool right-hand side, and Bali Mumba's going to have to try and stop the cross. He manages to do that. Kieran Trippier cuts it out. Good save by Alexander Bobek. Liverpool are piling on the pressure now, trying to get back in the game before half-time. I mean, they're still in the game at 1-0 down, but trying to draw a level at least. Big header by Burke Rees, so Christian Caceres has got to get there, and he does. Jamie Shackleton wins it, and Ismail Assar just clears. Alex Petit will chase that down. He might even get there. Doesn't quite. But forces the Liverpool player to deal with it. And it looks like Liverpool are targeting Bali Mumba down this left-hand side. He's struggled defensively so far, to be fair. And he's continuing to struggle. Bad challenge. Slid in, went for the ball, but didn't get it right. And he's going to receive a yellow card as well. Probably can't argue too much with that. It was a bad challenge. He's just taken one for the team there, really. And we'll try and deal with the set piece, which Alexander Bobek does really well. And we could be away on the counter-attack, but the Liverpool player nicks in first. We could still have something brewing here, though, with Kieran Trippier. And Jamie Shackleton faked the run. Started running in behind. I played the pass, and he turned around and ran the opposite way. Cheers for that, Jamie. Into injury time, then. And we still hold that 1-goal lead. Certainly would have taken a 1-goal lead at half-time before the game. I would have absolutely bitten your hand off if you offered that to me before the game. And it looks as though it's exactly what we're going to have. Liverpool still trying to change that just before half-time. But again, we're defending robustly. We're defending well. We force them backwards, and the referee does blow his half-time whistle. So, 1-0 Redmont Rangers at half-time. Liverpool have certainly had more possession. They have probably created more chances. I'm not sure that they've created the better chances, though. In fact, I'm certain that they haven't. We scored. We could have had a second from a header. And then we could have had a third from Alisson's ghastly mistake that he made an incredible save from. But Liverpool dominating the game really in every aspect except the scoreline. So I'm happy to run out the same starting 11 for this second half. I am happy to continue with the default game plan for now as well. However, I imagine Liverpool will begin to change their approach before too long if they continue to be behind in the game. Kieran Trippier is so slow, it's unreal. I mean, I know he's that slow, and Liverpool equalise. Horrific defending. Absolutely horrific defending. Tried to put a foot in several times and couldn't. Really, really bad. And it's Rafinha who fires home from close range. Nothing really Bobek can do about that. We're letting them play around our 6-yard box. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that. Hans Newman is furious. Rightly so. So 1-1 then. And I've put the ball straight out of play from the kickoff. Not a good start to this second half at all. I mean, we said we'd take a draw before the game. And I have to say I'd still be fine with a draw. To have the lead for 45 minutes and then give it up straight after the break is obviously frustrating, but we have to understand who we're playing. We have to understand who we are as a club and how valuable a point in this fixture could be come the end of the season. Good intervention from Berk Rieser. Can't hold on to the ball though. I mean, that was the story in the first half. We created some chances anyway, but we could not hold on to the ball. And Liverpool continue to attack. Good challenge again from Berk Rieser. Can't steal it away on the Liverpool right, though. Does force the Liverpool player into a mistake there, and he allows Ismaila Sarr to run away. Josh Sargent is inside him. And Ismaila Sarr manages to find Josh Sargent, drives towards the penalty area, opens up his body, can't quite find the corner of the net. Redmont Rangers fans getting behind the team again, though. Almost a 2-1 lead. Not quite. We're going to have Kieran Trippier put this in. He's got that dead ball play style. We're going to try and run across the near post. And just find Josh Sargent with the header, and we do. And what a save from Alisson. He's made a couple of saves like that from Josh Sargent today. And again, we are close to retaking the lead. But it's the Liverpool goalkeeper that's keeping them in it at the moment. And it's another corner. We're going to again try with Kieran Trippier. This time we're going to aim more for the penalty spot. Slightly more power. Josh Sargent's there again. Alisson claims. It was a good corner from Trippier. Right where it needed to be. But unfortunately, Alisson was right where he needed to be as well. Bali Mumba is outside Ismaila Sarr this time. Manages to find him, but Koundé's got speed. Bali Mumba doesn't have enough to beat him outside. And Ismaila Sarr dropping into cover. I feel like potentially we might come to rue those two chances that we had right there. Especially that first one. Josh Sargent getting his header away. And Josh Sargent has set Ismaila Sarr away here. Cuts inside onto his right foot. Manages to have the strength to hold off the initial Liverpool defender, but couldn't take on the second and the third. Good attempt by Ismaila Sarr. He continues to look dangerous without really threatening. He looks sharp. He's in the right areas. He's got a bit of pace about him. But he just hasn't quite been able to, you know, find that finishing touch. Just yet, anyway. Bali Mumba on this left-hand side picks up the ball. Almost gives it away. And he's tracked down by three Liverpool attackers pressing high there. Berk Rieser across to Caleb Taylor, who gives the ball away. Liverpool, like we said before the game, pressing high. We knew they would. Plan to deal with it a little better than that, though. Caleb Taylor's beaten. Berk Rieser comes across really well. And Kieran Trippier is just going to have to try and get rid. Jamie Shackleton picks it up. And Caleb Taylor can work the ball across the back line again here. Can Bali Mumba get there? Yes, he can. Manages to do well to hold on to that. And Ismaila Sarr made not the ideal run ahead of him. We needed him to stay wide there, really. But he cut inside instead. Oh, Jamie Shackleton nips in. Steals that away, though. Caleb Taylor. Jesse Cartwright back in the centre of defence now. And again, we have players in wide positions here. Bali Mumba chased down by Jules Koundé, though. He's played very well, the Liverpool right-back. And that's a great ball up to Richarlison. Two Redmont defenders in the vicinity. They've played it through that defensive line, though, and Jesse Cartwright and Berk Rieser eventually between them managed to shepherd it out for a corner, but that was looking dangerous again for a moment. So one ex-Leeds player for another. Rodrigo coming on for Rafinha. And I think it's probably time for us to make a couple of changes as well. We're going to bring Brendan Clark on the right. And I think we are going to bring Lewis Baker, Matthew Garbett. Matthew Garbett. We're going to bring Matthew Garbett on for Caceres Jr. So, probably in half an hour left to go in the game. Injury time included. So, Liverpool, I imagine, are probably going to still try and win this game. They're probably going to push for a winner. So, it might be time to drop into that defensive game plan before too long. First, we're going to have to deal with this attack, though, and Alexander Bobek does just that. It's a good save. Jurgen Klopp willing his team to find this winner. Yuri Tielemans about to put the corner in for Liverpool. And it's in a dangerous position. Josh Sargent gets there and wins that header, though. And again, Ismaila Sarr can break. He's got Jules Koundé. It's not Jules Koundé. It's the centre-back, so we're going to take him on. Can't quite beat him. That is something I need to improve in the game. I'm not much of a dribbler. I don't tend to dribble a lot just because I strive so much for realism. You just don't see players dribbling all over the pitch in real life too much, really. So it's not something I really utilise. But in those kinds of situations, I do need to be better at it. When I find myself one-on-one with a player, I need to be able to beat them. So I need to get a couple of skill moves under my belt in my arsenal, ready to pull out in those kinds of situations. Liverpool driving towards the Redmont box again. Matthew Garbett tries to put the foot in but can't. Good save again by Alexander Bobek. We are holding Liverpool just to shots from outside the box at the moment, so we are neutralising their attacks somewhat. I'm confident in Alexander Bobek from range. So if we can keep Liverpool to those kinds of chances only, I think we're going to have a good chance of getting something. Jamie Shackleton wins a throw-in. About 20 minutes to go. Josh Sargent picks up the ball in his own penalty area. Jesse Cartwright wants it. Alexander Bobek has it. Spreads it out wide. But nobody's out there to receive it. I'm just going to drop into the defensive game plan for the moment as well. So, Brendan Clark out on the left. Out on the right, rather. And Josh Key is actually going to come on. So I'm actually going to switch Brendan Clark and Ismaila Sarr, just so I've got fresh legs on either side. Decent game from Kieran Trippier today. He's done what he's needed to do. He's defended competently, and he's put a couple of good corners in for us. So that's what we needed him to do today. Nothing's come of the corners, but something almost came from a couple of the corners. Ismaila Sarr driving towards the box, takes on the Liverpool defender, tries to get a shot away but can't. Potentially Josh Sargent could have stolen it from Ismaila Sarr's foot there. He allowed Ismaila Sarr to get the shot off himself. Oh, and Josh Key has tried to win the ball back there and found himself out of position. Just trying to take on Richarlison. He's not good defensively, Josh Key. Great challenge from Caleb Taylor, though. And clears to Matthew Garbett. Josh Key making the run ahead of him. Plays it in behind for Josh Key to chase, but cut out by the Liverpool defender. Josh Key does well defensively there. Can't find Ismaila Sarr to start a quick break, though. Oh, and there's three players there that the Liverpool man has managed to squeeze the ball between. I felt certain we were going to intercept that. Oh, and Liverpool in a good position to shoot. Another good save from Bobek. Bali Mumba tries to clear, smashes it straight against Bakrisha, and it goes out for a corner. Tielemans going to put the ball in again. Looks like they could be going short again, though, Liverpool. And they do, so we'll close them down in that area. Bali Mumba beaten, though. Jamie Shackleton can't win the ball back. But Risa steps up to make a challenge. Matthew Garbutt's there to defend as well, and he blocks the ball. Looks like it's going to go for another Liverpool corner. So piling on the pressure here as they try and find a winner in this game. James Norris and Tyler Morton both coming off. A couple of players I don't recognise coming on. Not sure how dangerous they're going to be. And they go short again, Liverpool. Not prepared to defend that one. Lays it off on the edge of the box. Caleb Taylor's there. Josh Key trying to stop the cross. Josh Sargent back to defend as well. Again, good defending from our midfield and back lines. Good challenge there from Jamie Shackleton. Josh Sargent is just going to have to hold this ball up. And he does exactly that. Really good forward play from Josh Sargent. That was exactly what we needed in that situation. Just a measured head. And what a ball that is over to Jamie Shackleton. Matthew Garbutt gets onto his right foot but can't quite get a shot away. Really intelligent forward play from Josh Sargent there. What a ball that is in behind, though, for Rodrigo to chase. Good tackle. Again, though, from Jamie Shackleton. And Brendan Clark is going to have to try and do what Josh Sargent did a moment ago. He hasn't done that, though. Thankfully, the linesman's flag goes up and we are bailed out there. Cody Gakpo and Ryan Gravenberch, the last changes for Liverpool. We're going to make our last couple of changes as well. Josh Sargent is going to come off for Samson Tavide. And I think I'm going to bring Ismail Assar off and push Matthew Garbutt out wide. Barley Mumba could have been the player to come off here. He's looking fairly tired as well. And does also have a yellow card to his name. However, we don't really have an option to bring on there. Arthur Armstrong is the only defender we have on the bench. And we can't really play him left wing back. We could push Burke Reeser out there and put Armstrong at centre back, but even that is an option that I'm not particularly enamoured by. Maybe we should have taken Barley Mumba off, though, because he's given the ball away there and invited a Liverpool attack. The last couple of games, Barley Mumba's been really poor. But Reeser lunges in, can't get the ball, though. And he's been turned inside and out here by Rodrigo. Barley Mumba comes across. Jesse Cartwright can't block, and Liverpool win it at the death. Really poor defending, just could not put a foot in. And our one goal lead is completely dissipated, and we are 2-1 down against Liverpool. Burke Reeser tried to win it back. Barley Mumba tried to win it back. Jesse Cartwright tried to block. It's just impossible to get the ball off the CPU players in those kinds of situations. They just dribble into the box and you just can't really get near them. We might as well go ultra attacking for these last couple of minutes and try and see if we can get an equaliser. Brendan Clark is going to do his best to do exactly that. Dribbles into the box. Can't make it count, though. Jesse Cartwright finds Lewis Baker. Spreads the ball wide to Barley Mumba. We're going to have to get the ball forward and into the box if we do want a final opportunity to tie here. Jamie Shackleton on the ball. Cuts it wide to Josh Key. We're going to just have to get players in. Lewis Baker's at the back post and heads over. I thought he was going to score another heroic goal late. That's been kind of his trademark as a Redmont Rangers player, really. Scoring late goals to get us results. But unfortunately not on this occasion. And there goes the referee's final whistle. We've thrown away a one-goal lead to lose 2-1 against Liverpool. Such a disappointing way to lose as well. I mean, Liverpool with a better team without doubt. I mean, a 2-1 victory for them is not unfair by any means. However, we scored early and we had numerous chances in that first half to extend our lead and we just didn't take them. Ultimately, we just weren't clinical enough. We didn't put the ball in the back of the net when we had a real opportunity to do that. More than double the amount of passes attempted. 65% possession. 9 shots each. But Liverpool took their chances and we just didn't, unfortunately. So, 2 straight losses to begin the episode.
Hi, can you chat to us for a second about the match?
And it looks like Ismail Assar could be out for at least a short while. Hopefully it's just 5 or 7 days rather than, you know, weeks or months. But we'll check our inbox and we'll see. And it is just 6 days, a dead leg. So not so bad. We can do without him for 6 days. And the episode doesn't get any easier, unfortunately. We've got a trip to Villa Park and Aston Villa to take on next. I'm going to check those scout reports after the episode. We are just going to quick sim this game against Aston Villa to see the episode out. But Reese is going to come out for Arthur Armstrong. Alex Lowry's going to go back into the team. Josh Key is going to come back in, and other than that, I think it's going to remain the same. We want our strongest 11 out there, and Ismail Assar, he's actually fine again already, so the injury didn't linger for long at all. So can we get any points in this episode? We will see. Aston Villa, Julian Alvarez up front. They still have Diaby. They've got Konate at centre-back and Rudiger. Mendy at left-back as well. So some new faces in this Aston Villa side, but they still look fairly strong. So let's see if we can get at least a point, and we lose 3-2 again. So we've shipped some goals in this game. 6 goals in the 3 games. Josh Key scores 1 for us, as does Josh Sargent. And again, we take the lead and give it away. Josh Sargent scored in the first half, and we were 1-0 up at half-time, but 3 goals in the second half for Aston Villa. Makes it 3 straight defeats in this episode. So, after a fairly good start to the Premier League, well, after a very good start, to be fair, for a newly promoted side, it was a very good start that we had. The Premier League is now beginning to catch up to us. And the, you know, the difference in quality is apparent. So, let's have a last look at the table before we finish up. We dropped to 12th, so we only dropped 3 places, to be fair. On 13 points. We remain on 13 points. Everton actually find themselves all the way up in a Champions League place, as do Leeds. Liverpool managed to climb out of the relegation places with that victory over us. And Sheffield United are actually down there, along with West Ham and Nottingham Forest. Obviously one of the sides that got promoted with us last season. So mid-table at this stage of the season, not bad at all. It feels like a... you know, it feels fairly disastrous at this point, having lost 3 games in a row in this episode. But mid-table, not bad at all for a newly promoted club as we move into November. As we do move into November, we have a cup game, Carabao Cup, against Fulham to play. And then we have Arsenal and Manchester City in the league. So who knows what we're going to do in the next episode. I think we play Man City, I guess. A trip to the Etihad seems good for the next episode, but prospects are not looking good for November. Maybe we can beat Fulham in the Cup, and then I think we're going to struggle to get a point against the next 3 opponents in the Premier League. So we will keep on trucking, and we will look forward to that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.